So, if you're an educator, you've probably heard this question a million times. What's your AI strategy? Well, today we're going to build one right from the ground up. But we're going to focus on the part that actually matters, the lesson plan itself, not just the trendiest new app. We're talking about how to design lessons that are truly enhanced by this technology, not dominated by it. Okay, let's dive in.
Right? This is the question. AI is here. It's in our classrooms, whether we invited it or not. Students are using it, schools are rolling it out, and that brings this mix of excitement and, let's be real, maybe a little bit of anxiety too. The real question is, what do we actually do with it? How do we get past the novelty and use it for some real meaningful learning?
And this is where we hit the core of the problem. So often the conversation kicks off with, hey, what tool should I use? But that's starting from the wrong end. The real challenge, the real shift we need to make is asking the most important question first. What's my learning goal here, and how could technology maybe help my students and me get there?
And that right there, that's the big takeaway for today. The magic isn't in the AI, it's in your design. Look, you can have the flashiest AI tool in the world, but if the lesson is badly designed, well, it's still a bad lesson. But a really thoughtful plan can turn even a simple tool into an incredible learning amplifier.
So I want you to start thinking of yourself less as just a teacher and more as a learning architect. And if your lesson plan is the blueprint for learning, then instructional design, or ID, is the set of principles you use to draw that blueprint up. It's what makes sure every part of the lesson is strong, has a purpose, and is built to actually last.
Okay, so what is this thing really? Well, instructional design is basically the secret sauce that has always separated good lessons from truly great ones. It's a system to make sure that what you're teaching is clear, engaging, and actually sticks. But now, with a powerful new ingredient like AI in the mix, having this solid foundation isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. What's really cool here is that there's no single right way to do this. These are all established models that can help us. Think of ADDIE as the classic super thorough approach. It's great for big projects. Then you've got backward design, which honestly is a personal favorite. You start with the end goal in mind and work backward. This is fantastic for making sure your AI tool is serving a very specific purpose. And then there's SAM, which is more agile and iterative. It's perfect for experimenting. You can try out an AI activity, get quick feedback, and tweak it on the fly. Each one gives you a solid structure to work from. All right, so we've got our designer hats on. Now let's lay down some ground rules. What are the key principles we need to stick to when we actually start plugging an AI tool into our lesson blueprint?
And these 5 points, I'd say they're pretty much non-negotiable. First, pedagogical alignment. Does the tool actually help with learning, or is it just a cool gimmick? The why is everything. Second, learner readiness. We can't just toss a new tool at our students. They need to get why they're using it and how it helps. Third, cognitive load. This one's huge. One great tool used well is so much better than 5 confusing ones. We don't want to overwhelm them. Fourth, balance. Let's use AI to boost everything: reading, speaking, listening, the whole shebang. And finally, privacy and ethics. We have to be upfront about how these tools work. It's a key part of digital citizenship.
Okay, so that's a lot of theory, I know. Let's make this real. We're going to walk through a sample lesson plan piece by piece and see how we can weave AI in at every stage with a clear purpose. Think about any great lesson you've ever been in. It probably followed a flow kinda like this, right? You start with a lead-in to get everyone's brains warmed up. Then you introduce some new info, the input. You zoom in on key language or ideas. Then you have the students actually create something. That's production. And you always end with reflection. Now let's see how AI fits into this. And boom, here's where it all clicks into place. Let's say our topic is environmental issues. For the lead-in, we could use ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas. For input, an engaging listening task on VoiceTube. To focus on language, Quillians can whip up a vocabulary quiz in seconds. Then for production, students can draft with ChatGPT and polish it with Grammarly. And for that crucial reflection, they could use AI prompts on Padlet to think about their writing process. See? Every tool has a specific job to do. This question right here? Honestly, this might be the most important moment in the entire lesson. We have to ask our students to think about their thinking. It's called metacognition. A simple question like this one pushes them from just using the tool to actually understanding it, its strengths, its weaknesses. It makes them an active driver in their own learning. All right, So now the blueprint is yours. You have the design principles, you have the key things to watch out for, and you've seen a real example. The next step is to start thinking about your classroom, your students, and your goals, and just start sketching out what your own future-ready lesson might look like.
Seriously, if there's just one thing you walk away with today, I hope it's this. Our goal is not to create students who depend on AI. It's to use these incredibly powerful tools to spark creativity, to sharpen critical thinking, and to get to a deeper level of understanding. It always comes back to that thoughtful, pedagogy-first integration.
And I'm going to leave you with this final question to chew on. The AI tools we're excited about today, they could be old news in a few years. Something new and shinier will come along. But the principles of good instructional design, starting with a clear goal, knowing your learners, building a balanced experience, those things are timeless. Focus on strengthening your blueprint, and you'll be ready for whatever comes next.